Here we go. We are live again. Mindful Path. Happy New Year again. Second
Happy New Year.
time. How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing? Good to see you again. How are the mountains treating you?
It's nice and snowy here. It's very nice, and the mountains are a refreshing place, right? To where your mind can actually be in moments where you need peace and purpose and relax and so on. So I really like the mountains.
Perfect.
And this actually today is me and Mindful Path. We don't have any dude that is as a guest for today. We will have from next week. This today is the time for us again to renovate maybe the invitation for everybody that is watching us and you would like to talk about mindfulness or just argue with us that mindfulness is a completely pointless thing and we're just wasting our time. Anything is welcome, really. So please join as a guest. uh, Anywhere you are, we can, Mindful Path did it from the parking lot, from the city, from everywhere. So we can really connect you from anywhere in the world. So please keep sharing and be part of the present show with us. So, Mindful Path, anything you would like to share? I have a question for you after that.
Mm, no, I'm ready for the question.
Okay, so I was thinking, right? So, something that is always connected. So, in this period, I was watching all the present shows we had. So it was a very interesting journey um, into various areas how the mindfulness can start, right? And one of the most interesting thing is you know that I'm practicing, and you know that I have my mindful minutes every day. And sometimes how I do it is I also try to watch myself from above, right? And I try to see me uh, focusing on my breath, or see me listening to, or see me thinking, right? So these are something that helps me to get into a concentration state. And I'm wondering, how many people do you think are able to see themselves thinking?
Hmm. I don't have the answer for how many people can do that, but it's one thing to be able to like mentally think of yourself like thinking. Say you're looking at yourself from a bird's eye view. So I'm sitting here, but then I close my eyes or keep them open and I pretend that I'm on the ceiling looking down at myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing you can do, but we have many senses, right? We have those 5 common senses that everyone knows: the sight, the smell, taste, hearing, feeling, right? But we also have that sixth sense, that intuition, right? If I scare everyone, you feel it first from your heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's one way to understand kind of like intuition, that gut feeling. But there's studies that I used to read that would even extend further to say that we have 21 different senses. Senses saying like being able to feel the different parts of your body and the
Mm-hmm.
connection between them, the nerves, temperature, pinching, and things like that. And then there's even further schools of thought or science where you can feel different planes or different fields, quantum fields,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even to alternate realities or other dimensions. So I feel like we underutilize and underuse our senses, our thoughts, and our feelings. And I think there's a lot of different room for improvement. And mindfulness practices can enhance your senses, all of the basic 5 senses, and allow you to explore other senses that you have as well.
Okay, so basically, this mind is not the only sixth sense. There are many options to, like, many possible things we can perceive.
Right.
But you think, like the question I asked the audience as well, if you're watching or if you are commenting also below, looking for the replays, can you see yourself thinking? Like, are you able to think that you are thinking? That is a weird thing to say, but I guess it is possible, right?
You can ask yourself the question, what will I say next?
And yeah, but also meanwhile, because while you are doing a mindful minute, there are moments where your brain just changes argument and starts thinking about something, right? And so basically, is it enough to realize we are thinking about something to feel that we are thinking? Or is there
It's
anything
like,
else?
well, it's interesting once you go into like your own mind. A lot of us, we have like that say the positive side and the negative side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that says, "Oh, it's okay, Patrick, things will get better," and the other side is like, "No, life's hard, it sucks, right? It's not going to get better." So a lot of us have like these two sides, right, that are kind of like arguing with each other. But if you take that step back and you kind of observe your thoughts, then who are you? Are you those thoughts, or are you the person that's observing you thinking? Or is it something even further, right? Can you observe yourself observing your own thoughts? So if you have nothing to do, at night, you can think about concepts like that that have kept me up sometime. But I remember there's like this great quote one time by, I think it was by Buddha. Probably wasn't by Buddha, but a lot of great quotes are attributed to Buddha.
Mm-hmm.
And they're having these deep philosophical conversations of what is life and thinking and what is real and who am I and thoughts, and they were all eating dinner, right? And Buddha just stood up and he's like, it's great. All this speculation is great, but let's go clean our rice bowls. So let's go back to everyday things.
A little applause for MindfulPat for this amazing story. So thank you, MindfulPat. So that means that the getting into the flow is something that is usually what we do, right? We live and keep thinking about something and we don't clean it up. And it's not a bad thing to do, right? But being mindful is also a way to clean and just learn to dedicate your thoughts in what is purposeful in that present time.
Yeah. So maybe you could share with us like one of your thoughts, Lele, that you kind of, or work us through something that maybe you were thinking about that's like a reoccurring thought or a hypothetical situation.
Mm-hmm.
You have something, an example?
Like sometimes I think about when you are watching or you're in the cinema or you're watching the TV, right? So and sometimes the TV and movies are something that are very immersive. They get you in. And sometimes I was playing this kind of game that while I was watching the TV, I was just getting out and seeing myself watching the TV. So like from outside, right? And then you start feeling many more sounds that you didn't, like the fridge there, or fidgeting of whoever's sitting next to you, or whatever thing. Then you feel different colors, because it's not only the colors of the movie or the cinema, but you start feeling on the walls around, other people sitting nearby, and all this is something that you were completely not considering. And that's it's a fun thing to realize. And I mean, cinema is something that you don't want to lose attention, because movies usually are something that you want to be in and feel like the characters. But during your life, you might not want the same kind of feeling, because actually you don't want to be completely immersed. You would like also to be able to think and see if you're going into the right direction, since you are the character in that game, right?
Yeah. It's interesting with the movies, because I was just thinking, like, could you immerse yourself fully in the now, like in your life, that you, because a lot of us that as you're watching the movie, you're lost for like an hour,
Mm-hmm.
or for 2 hours, or however long the movie is. But a lot of us are like that every day, like on autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We are our thoughts, and we never take that step to think. Something happens, we react, and then we continue on, and we don't have that time to self-reflect and to think. And those people, you could argue, that are fully immersed in their lives, in their thoughts. But is that really who they are? Is that really life? Or is life that step back where you can observe the TV and yourself watching it, right? So
Yeah.
which one's the right way to go? The person who's fully focused on their life and their thoughts in the movie, or the person that can step back and realize there's a difference? And which one do you choose, right? Do you balance it out? Do you decide to observe? Do you pick a movie that you want, this is my life and that's what I want to do, and you're immersed in that? I mean, it's all questions we need to ask and answer ourselves.
Translating it to a business environment, I see that if you get into the flow and you continue just, working task by task, project by project, call by call, meeting by meeting, you don't have those time to think, am I doing the right job? Where is going to be my next step? What is about my career? Am I really happy about what I'm doing? Am I really capable, or it's better if I take another direction? Are those people around me really productive, or is there anything else we should do to be even more productive together? So there are all these additional things that could be thought about, but usually we don't have time to do it because we are immersed in something else.
What if we, like, speaking of the business environment, what if we put that in our schedule? What if you made your meeting 20 minutes and you had a 5-minute time to move from meeting to meeting, grab a drink, go for a walk, use the restroom. And then after each meeting, you had 5 minutes to do like a retrospective, right? What was good? What was bad? How can I improve? And you kind of picked, I'm hypothetically thinking out loud right now, after you finish eating food with your family, you're like, how can we improve this? And then just, I don't know, like put a certain, because a lot of us are schedule, right? Meeting, this. If you actually scheduled blocks in your day for mindfulness, for reflection, for brainstorming, for whatever it is, so it became kind of part of your process, part of your flow.
So like to try to not get this derailment that you every time schedule 1 hour after another, but always try to keep those 5 minutes or 15 minutes even of a buffer but not to get into emails, but to think about what you just did or you will do, to enter in it, to realize it, look at yourself thinking and improve the process. Yeah, that would be it. And I guess this is the time for the mindful minute. But
okay.
So is there anything that can help us to feel ourselves thinking that we are thinking?
Yes. So it's probably best if you close your eyes. You can do this when you're laying down later or sitting down, wherever, and your own pace. It could take a minute, a few minutes, but get into a nice, calm, relaxed, alert, aware position. And then try to imagine that you're looking in a mirror in front of you. Trying to see your reflection in that mirror. How do you look today? How are you dressed? How is your posture? How's your hair? And then you could also imagine that you're looking at yourself from the top of the ceiling or through a camera that's on top of the ceiling. How do you look from above? The same, you could imagine that you're sitting underneath yourself. How do you look from the bottom? How do you look from the back or from different angles? Maybe you can imagine you're a little person. You shrunk down and you're sitting on the table the size of a cup or the size of a pen or whatever small object, and you're looking at yourself. How do you look like a giant? Or you go inside yourself. Say you're inside your mouth. How do you look from the inside out? Well, there's a lot of different ways that you can begin to reflect and try to see yourself, put yourself in your partner's shoes or your colleague's shoes or your client's shoes, and try to imagine how they see you, how they perceive you. And when you're done, just take a few breaths and open your eyes again. Mindful minute.
Thank you, MindfulPat. So I think in this way, something like that you can really do anytime from anywhere. And if you are like me, used to work on video editing or making videos or taking photographs, this is even helping you because this is part of your daily life, right? To understand where you can take that picture and so on. And we are all with the phone, right, to take picture every day. So it's something. Every time you pick up your phone, try to also to see yourself from that phone, and that could help you to see where are you going. Nice. And who you are. So this concludes today's Depression Show. Thank you, Pat, as usual.
Thank you, Lele. Thanks, everyone.
See you in a week with another appointment with and journey into the mindfulness. See you soon, guys, and thank you for watching.